A perfect song to introduce today. People are strange. Hello and welcome. This is a special episode of the Brain Power Hour, where we discuss the effects of violence in our youth, with special appearances by Tori Mansbridge, principal at the Thriving Mountain House Elementary, a school located on the Upper East Side, where the socioeconomic average of income is about 100,000 plus. Then with the leading expert on the social cognitive theory, Albert Bandura's work, Jose Tabar. He's going to provide an in-depth analysis of the main tenets of this dynamic theory of hostility at a young age. We will begin with this curious example as brought on by Miss Mansbridge.
You can call me Tori, Mark.
Ha! Great. Then with the analysis by Jose, and finally the strengths and limitations this effect will have on Tori's situation. Now let's begin. Hello, Tori.
Hi, Mark.
So I understand you have a situation that's been afflicting your school.
Yes, well, the problem all started when a mixed martial arts training facility opened next door to the school. The building is surrounded by large windows that the children can see directly into, and they watch the sparring sessions.
Okay, so how has this affected your students' behavior?
Well, before the gym opened, we had less than 3 fights per year. However, with the opening of this gym, we have seen an uptake in physical confrontations up to 5 per week.
Wow, that's crazy. So that's a dramatic increase. What have you been doing to solve this situation?
Well, that's kind of where we're at a standstill. We can only suspend or give detention as a deterrent to avoid these confrontations. But I feel with the proper knowledge, we may be able to reduce the staggering number of fights that are occurring in our school.
That's good to hear, Tori, because today we have the leading expert on Bandura's work, social cognitive theory, who can provide some insights into why children model the hostile behavior that they witness.
Hello today. I was invited to share with you one of the most practiced behavioral theories in education, and that is Albert Bandura's social cognitive theory. The reason that this theory is so popular is because there have been several experiments where the theory has been tested and in results have been phenomenal. One of Albert Bandura's most famous experiments was that of the bubble doll. This experiment was taking place because Bandura's theory presented the idea that we are social learners. In this experiment, children were exposed to a positive behavior and a negative behavior towards the bubble doll. In one side, you had a child who was exposed to an adult who played kindly with the doll. In the result, the child exposed the same behavior towards the doll. And then you had a child who was exposed to an adult beating up the doll. Thus, the child exposed the same behavior of beating up the bubble doll. There are 3 main tenets to Bandura's theory of social cognitive behavior. The first is modeling. Modeling occurs to the observation of certain behaviors in others. And this is more likely to happen if the individuals performing the behavior exhibit more likeliness or more appeal to the child or the person who is visualizing or seeing these persons exhibit this behavior, such as a popular kid in school or somebody in TV, or maybe just a kid with the shiny toys. The behavior that they exhibit, the behavior that they present would be a behavior more likely to want to be modeled by the one who is viewing these behaviors take actions, if the person is more likable or has more of a physical appearance that is more appealing to the individual, or possesses things that the other person would want. For example, one of the most model behaviors right now on the web and on Facebook is the ice bucket challenge. People are not really interacting in this behavior of doing the challenges because they simply feel like they want to donate money, but is that fact that we have celebrities and that we have famous people and friends rivaling each other that exhibits the wanting to take part of such a behavior as the ice bucket challenge. Then we have the inactive learning. Inactive learning is due to behavior exhibited after analysis. So basically, if you know the stove is gonna burn you, you're gonna not touch the stove all you have again. So basically, this is behavior that we exhibit after analyzing the consequences to follow a certain behavior. For example, we have a child that has not taken out the trash, and he knows if he doesn't take out this trash, he more than likely would get scolded by his mother or father. Therefore, a child being able to perceive the scolding coming if he does not take up the trash will more likely go off his way to take out the trash in order to avoid the scolding. Uh, Another example. As adults, we are more likely to try to make it on to work on time, and we'll go off our way to make it to work on time if we know we're gonna get a reading up or possibly fired. Therefore, our behavior would exhibit us wanting to be there on time for work so that we don't get a write up. So the inactive learning shows us how we as humans are we able to perceive or analyze the consequences that follow our behavior, therefore molding the behavior. Lastly, in Bandura's theory, we have self-efficacy. Uh, this pretty much comes to play when and it's really enrolled in our accomplishments. The more we accomplish, the more self-efficacy we feel. The more we have master a task, the more we've mastered our daily routine, the more successful we are at things that we do, the greater our self-efficacy works. For example, we're giving an assignment at work, and we always perform very well at it, and then we feel so proud of ourselves that we're willing to take on another task. For similar like children, once we learn how to count to 10, we start practicing to count up to 20. That self-worth, that feeling of reward prompted us to want to exhibit a behavior of being better at the tasks that were presented to us. Now, in the other hand, there is also ways to reduce self-efficacy by failing behavior. If we are giving a task that is too complex or too hard for us to handle, we are more likely to have to lower our self-efficacy, meaning our self-worth to the ability to accomplish a task. Therefore, our behavior would be prompt to being weary or being anxious or being kind of like angry when we are presented with a task that we don't feel capable of performing, and thus eventually feeling incapable of performing any task in general. That's why it is not good to present a child with a task that is too great for him to handle, but rather it's better to take him step by step to small successes at a time, thus leading into being able to perform bigger and harder tasks. Because the greater the self-efficacy, the greater that we're gonna embark on a new journey, and we're gonna be willing to take on a new task and really have an open mind into solving a problem we haven't seen before. These pretty much are the three main tenets to Albert Bandura's theory. Just to briefly summarize them for you, we have modeling, we have inactive learning, and we have self-efficacy. And the reasons why these are practiced in our education system throughout the nation is because they have really proven to be effective in the way we teach our children and the way we build a better tomorrow.
Thanks, Jose. Now, Tori, do you think of any solutions based on the information that Jose has given today?
Well, the major strength of Bandura's theory that I think that we can implement to our school system is the idea of rewarding learning. So I think if we model the proper behavior for our students and then reward them with extra recess time when the fighting does decrease, I think we found a solution to our problem.
This sounds like a solid plan to implement into your school. I do have a few concerns, though. What I have seen in schoolyards is something to the contrary. No matter what they are taught or what they are told, children act on impulse. I do have an example for this. Children at that age, I believe, have been known to be cruel and uncaring and bullying others.
Well, I think that's kind of a black and white perspective you're looking at there, Mark. With the proper guidance, I believe that our children can learn to behave in a more caring manner.
Excellent point, Tori. Well, it looks like we're out of time for today. Thank you, and we'll see you guys next week.